the African Indian. Siddi people. Are they actually black African? The Siddi people, also known as the Siddi community, or Siddi, are an ethnic group primarily found in India and Pakistan. They are descended from African slave sailors and traders who settled in India and Pakistan centuries ago, the Siddi population. Derived primarily from Bantu peoples of Southeast Africa, who were brought to the Indian subcontinent as slaves. Most of these migrants were, or else became Muslims, while a small minority became Hindu. The Nizam of Hyderabad also employed African origin guards and soldiers. The first Siddis are thought to have arrived in India in 628 CE at the Baruch port. Several others followed with the first Arab Islamic conquest of the subcontinent in 712 CE. The latter group are believed to have been soldiers with Muhammad bin Qasim's Arab army, and were called Zanji. Some Siddis escaped slavery to establish communities in forested areas. Siddis were also brought as slaves by the Deccan Sultanates. These Siddis embraced Deccani Muslim culture and identified with the Deccani Indian Muslim political faction against the Iranian Shia immigrants. Several former slaves rose to high ranks in the military and administration, the most prominent of which was Malik Ambar. The Siddi people originated from various African regions, including East Africa, West Africa, and Ethiopia. Many were brought to India and Pakistan as slaves, sailors, or traders by Portuguese, Dutch, and British colonizers. Some Siddis also migrated voluntarily for trade or military service. The Siddi community has a rich history in India and Pakistan, dating back to the 14th century. They played significant roles in Indian society, including serving as soldiers, traders, and artisans. The Siddis have maintained their unique cultural identity despite centuries of assimilation. The Siddi people have tall stature and average height range of 58 to 62, or 173 to 188 centimeters. The Siddi people have athletic build. They are muscular with broad shoulders and chest. They have strong bone density adapted for physical labor and endurance. Their distinct facial features of broad nose, full lips, and high cheekbones makes them more African. For facial features, the Siddi people exhibit facial features that reflect their African ancestry. Here are some facial characteristics that are common among the Siddi people and are typically associated with African facial features, such as broad nose, wide flat nose with a rounded tip, full lips, thick plump lips, high cheekbones, prominent defined cheekbones, prominent jawline, strong angular jawline, deep set eyes, eyes set back into the socket, curly eyelashes, thick curly eyelashes, wide rounded face shape, broad face with a rounded shape, distinctive facial markings, tribal scars, keloid formations, or other facial markings. Their cuisines are influenced by African Indian and Middle Eastern flavors. Their popular dishes are biryani, kebabs, and traditional African stews. They celebrate diverse festivals, such as Urs festival honoring Sufi saints, Navratri festival celebrating Hindu goddess Durga, Eid al-Fitr marking the end of Ramadan. The Siddi language has a blend of Swahili, Arabic, and Indian languages. Many also speak local Indian and Pakistani languages. Majority of Siddis practice Sufi Islam. Some Siddis follow Hinduism. A small minority practice Christianity. The Siddi people are closely knitted community with respect for elders and traditional leaders. The people of Siddi are farmers and livestock rearers. They engage in fishing, artisanal crafts such as wood carving, pottery, and textiles. They participate in music and dance performances and traditional medicine. This topic will answer the question if the Siddi people are actually black African. Yes, the Siddi people are black and of African descent and have physical characteristics typical of people of African ancestry, such as dark skin tones, curly hair, and African features. Here are some reasons why the Siddi people are said to be black. 1. Skin tone. The Siddi people's skin tones vary due to their ancestral origins from East Africa, particularly from regions like Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Somalia. Genetic diversity and intermarriage with local Indian populations, resulting in genetic exchange. Typically, the skin tones of Siddi people range from dark brown type 5, very dark brown type 6, and ebony, or deeply pigmented, which is type 6, according to the Fitzpatrick scale, which classifies skin tones into 6 categories 1 to 6. The city people's skin tones primarily fall within types 5 and 6. City people's skin tones often exhibit high melanin content, resulting in darker skin tones, eumelanin dominance producing brown and black pigmentation, increased skin thickness providing natural protection against UV radiation. Skin tone variations exist among city communities in different regions. Those in Gujarat, India have dark brown to very dark brown. City people living in Karnataka, India have medium dark to dark brown, while those living in Pakistan have very dark brown to ebony, and dark brown to very dark brown. Skin tone plays a significant role in city culture, particularly in identity formation, social status, marriage, and family relationships. 2. Hair texture. The city people have hair texture that reflects their African ancestry. Their hair texture is primarily characterized by curly to kinky texture. Type 3 and 4 tight curls and coils. High shrinkage hair appears shorter than actual length. Low elasticity hair breaks easily. Dryness and fragility. Coily pattern hair forms S shapes. Variable texture range from loose curls to tightly coiled. The city people use traditional hair care practices such as using natural oils, coconut, olive, and sesame, applying herbs and plant extracts, henna, aloe vera, braiding and twisting using clay and mud masks. 3. Body structure. The city people are black African. Due to their body structure, their bone density is generally higher in people of African descent. Their body mass index BMI varies, but often higher in African populations. Their muscle mass are typically more developed in African populations. Their body proportions, with relatively longer arms and legs, shorter torso, wider hips and thighs. Facial features: broad nose, full lips, high cheekbones, prominent jawline, are features of Africans. The city people have tall stature and average height range of 58 to 62 or 173 to 188 centimeters. The city people have athletic build. They are muscular with broad shoulders and chest. They have strong bone density adapted for physical labor and endurance. Their distinct facial features of broad nose, full lips, and high cheekbones makes them more African. 4. Facial features. The city people exhibit facial features that reflect their African ancestry. Here are some facial characteristics that are common among the city people and are typically associated with African facial features, such as broad nose, wide flat nose with a rounded tip, full lips, thick plump lips, high cheekbones, prominent defined cheekbones, prominent jawline, strong angular jawline, deep set eyes, eyes set back into the socket, curly eyelashes, thick curly eyelashes, wide rounded face shape, broad face with a rounded shape, distinctive facial markings, tribal scars, keloid formations, or other facial markings. Facial features play a significant role in city culture, particularly in identity formation, social status, marriage and family relationships, spiritual practices, cultural expression, dancing, singing. By acknowledging and appreciating the city people's African facial features, we can promote inclusivity, diversity, and cultural understanding. 5. Language. Here is the text without punctuation. The city people speak various languages that reflect their African, Arab, and South Asian heritages. The city language, also known as Siddi or Siddi, is a Creole language with African, Arab, and Portuguese influences. Some city people speak Swahili, a Bantu language from East Africa. Some city people speak Arabic, reflecting their historical connections with Arab traders. City dialect. Gujarat is a unique blend of African, Arab, and Gujarati influences. City language exhibits creolization, blending African, Arab, and South Asian linguistic features. City language includes loanwords from African languages, such as Swahili. City language shows Arabic influences in vocabulary and grammar. By recognizing and respecting the city people's language, we can promote cultural diversity, support language preservation, foster inclusivity and understanding. In conclusion, despite their African roots, the city people have developed a distinct cultural identity shaped by their Indian environment. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more.